and
No.
then we will do a
That's
small
literally the first thing you hear on
recap,
a stream.
and then we will continue off from where we left off with Peter. Probably we'll start there because he had a little bit less screen time last game, so I want to start off with Peter. Um, once this is uploaded here, music, audio.
Do we also get some background
Wait,
music?
what is this,
We will.
Charlie? What the fuck is this shit?
Don't you killed
What are
your
you guys
music?
doing?
They're sending each other very inappropriate pictures, probably.
I knew it.
That would have
I-
been better.
Fuck!
That would have been better.
I've
Oh god.
literally never heard this, but I love it. What the fuck?
They're losing their shit right over there. Is that like a Belgium Dutch thing or
It's full on Dutch. It's not even Belgian. It's full on Dutch.
is
It's
it
great.
like ja news? Is it that song? No, okay.
No. Charlie,
Oh,
link it to
it's-
Isaac. Or yeah, link it here. Yeah, well, everybody
Gonna
can
watch it.
enjoy.
it's basically the Dutch version of Ik ben een vet.
Oh god, no. Okay, I will watch it later while I'm in a serious mood to do the D&D session. Okay, good. Songs off. Time to get a recap going with some background music as
Yes.
requested. There we go. Okay, so last time all of your characters had some pretty peculiar adventures going on. We have Zolp, who decided to spend the day making a heist together with Skux and Asuka to be able to design and create his own set of tools so he would be able to fix a certain amulet and a pair of gloves, which he's currently doing in the abandoned shack. Well, not so abandoned anymore. We have Sabine, who managed to subdue and teach the hunters of the village how to make traps so that they could provide the people with food that is starting to become a little bit scarce. Charles managed to come across the higher class part of the village where he met a myriad of people, and one such house was very peculiar, where he did discover that the child was indeed infected by the disease, and he decided to not inform them of the situation. He also managed to uncover that the woman had already met him at the healer's house, but that he, and I quote, the woman acted and sounded like a zombie while doing his routine. Continuing on, some of you were also given quests next to Sabine. For example, Asuka was given the quest to go and guard Sammy's house, while Ree was punished. Told to go guard the children at the playground after he met Arabella.
Stacy.
um, so add extra enemies. Okay. The we ended the session where Peter gained a quest from Arabella where a commotion happened at the center of the village where a individual came out of nowhere in the center, and many people were scared, confused, and they wanted somebody who was up to the task in any form of magical subjects, hence why it was given to Peter. Um, that's where we left off last time. So, Peter, is there anything else you would like to ask from last session, or do we continue on uh, with the task that was given to you?
Let's just continue.
All right. If I'm not mistaken, the last time you left the mayor's house in an urgent manner, without talking too much to your allies, you went straight out through the door and to your supposed destination. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. I want you to describe your character's facial features, emotional state, mind, your setting, the way you're thinking, how you're moving, and what your intent is when you reach your destination. What would a third-person view of see as you're going there?
You would see a frantic looking man running for his life. That's what you would see. And he is thinking that this may be it. This may be my lead. I need to get there quickly. I hope
Okay.
I have enough time. And he would just go there.
Yeah, but you will have to take your time because God is AFK.
Slow mo.
God is having a call from Satan.
Mm-hmm.
Satan wants his rogue back.
I just watched the video, but it's so
All right.
stupid.
Okay. My apologies. It was a quick reservation.
No worries.
Okay. So you arrive at your destination, which is not far off from the children's playground. This time, as the children's playground is around the center of the village, you are in the actual, let's just say, sort of marketplace is center, but it doesn't really have a lot of people at the designated stalls because most of them are old or abandoned. Because this part of the village, this center, is actually more skewed towards the lower caste, which also indicates that it doesn't have an actual flowing economy at first glance as you look around. The square itself is also very, very empty, but you do see a lot of like little spaces at empty houses or closed off streets or little alleyways where homeless people would probably be in there, but they're all abandoned, like, built away. There are certain guards also encircling the entire perimeter. And as you approach the perimeter, one stops you in the very known manner. It's like, halt, keep your distance, and state your business.
I am here to investigate the sudden appearance of a person. I was sent by Arabella.
All right, show me your contract.
I show the contract.
All right. He unfolds the contract by opening the seal. He gets a quick look over. The guard gives a slight nod, rolls up the paper. All right. If there are any questions, you can ask any other guards in the middle. The point where it happened is around there, and he points around almost at the center itself of the village center, but a bit more towards the right. It's a bit too far to see instantly, but you know in what general direction to go. And then the two other guards behind him, like part way for you to go through.
Mm-hmm. I'll go and investigate the place.
All
If I
right.
see any.
So the first thing you see, without having to do anything specific, is that you see a very familiar scene where there is a line on the floor going from left to right where it's like singed in the ground, indicating the same type of energies that flinged you the first time into this entire situation. The same also singeing smell still goes around here, but seemingly this might have happened a while ago, probably a while ago. But you can't immediately sense at first glance how long it has been.
All right. I'll ask the guards if anyone seen the person go anywhere.
So I should turn around and ask if the guard itself turns around. He says it was very peculiar. He said, um, because it happened in less than 3 seconds. A strange energy formed where that line currently is, and somebody just like walked through. They were holding a very big red book in their hands, and not even a second later, they swore something or said something, and those self-same energies enveloped him again, and then he flickered away. And it was a very strange occurrence. Once I saw these types of magic, I immediately cleared the perimeter for any form of potential danger. Um, honestly, it's your job to find out what if there is potential danger or not.
I can pretty safely say that the person is already gone, and there shouldn't be any danger.
All right, just
So,
make sure you check everything thoroughly. We don't want any accidents to happen.
understood.
He nods and turns the brain again, looking around the perimeter to see that no people breach it yet.
Oh boy. How to investigate this?
Take your time. You're still not at the actual spot. You're still at the edge of the. You're still at the edge of the perimeter where you were talking with the guards.
Right, I'll go exactly at the spot and investigate the area if I can somehow
All
get
right.
it.
It's not that far. It's about 10 feet, so about 3 meters away. As you no, let's just say 5 meters away. And as you draw closer, you do feel again that same sort of pressure that you were feeling as you saw all these colors around you before you actually mashed down into the Wishwoods themselves. There is a strange pulsing feeling around. It's still hanging in the air for some reason, whereas the last time you were there, was sort of like fleeting and going off.
Uh, okay. Does it have a sense of direction or is it just a feeling?
It's a bit where the line is with those portals. It's a bit like around in the air, almost like a. How about you roll me an Arcana check or an investigation check or both in sequence, depending on what happens. Let's start with Arcana. Okay, that's good. So, you can imagine these energies as a floating ball of water just above this little line that's slowly seeping and dripping energies to the floor.
All right. And then investigation, correct?
Can you specify maybe something else you would like to investigate more around it or above it? Or how do you feel you should look into it more?
Oh boy.
Take your time. Don't rush. Oh, I forgot. Since this is about you.
I get my song. All right. So you said it feels like a bowl around it?
It's
Uh,
almost like not around it, like
above.
let me just draw it then maybe. This will be a better representation then. It's almost like there is a line on the floor and just above it there is like almost like a round form of energy that is slowly dripping this pressure of energies that normally would be residue of what happened here, but this time it's like still stuck in the air.
All right. I would like to cast detect magic.
All right. Yeah, sure. You may cast detect magic. All right. So, um, although you cannot 100% decipher what kind of magic because it requires you to know these kinds of magics first, you do immediately feel that they are of the spatial types. So there is spatial magic going around here that warps the reality around this thing. Um, but this type of magic is not the type of magic that initially brought you here. The magic on the ground, the line that is the residue of what brought the person in question here, is different from what is hanging in the air.
All right.
Let's see. How about you roll me another Arcana check with advantage since you're doing detect magic?
Thank
Okay.
fuck.
Thank fuck indeed. Which is good because 15 was the DC. There is a pocket dimension hanging in the air. It is holding something in it.
Oh boy. Okay. I'll reach into the dimension.
All right. Let's see. suddenly, as you try to put your hand through it, you actually see your hand disappear, like almost to go into the water, but you can still see through it. It's almost like gone up until as how deep you go in it, but you can't seem to grasp anything instantly. And in front of you, Peter, you suddenly, it's
my
almost like that round shape starts to ripple, and you actually start to see it like simmer a little bit, and it starts to get a hue, light blue green hue around it, and almost in front of you, it's almost like a bowl screen happening, and in front of that comes a strange markings and symbols on the outside of it. What do you do while your hand is still in it?
I remove my hand and try to decipher the symbols.
All right. So the symbols themselves um, are actually arcane symbols indicating a sort of like a magical. It's almost like an encryption, but everything is strangely mishmashed and not correct. It's wrong. It's not something you've seen before. You have learned that encryption in magical terms is where you take a set of text and then it is encrypted in another form of magic and then encapsulated um, within within something. So you have to decipher it, which is why I am going to give you something. I want you to click on it. And once you open it, you're allowed to screen share it via Discord. And you're going to solve a puzzle.
Okay.
So you're going to have to rearrange the entirety of this little puzzle, and then we will see how far we will get. It's not an easy one. You're allowed to work with it throughout today's campaign.
You're
What
fucked,
the
dude.
frick is that shit?
Also, don't worry about my tabs.
Just take it easy. Throughout the time, you may enact certain questions. You may ask certain abilities. You may do certain roles through investigation. You may use your personal skills, your ideas. Go in much as of RP as you go. Every time you do that, I will give you either hints, make it easier until you can solve the entire puzzle. Is that okay for you?
Yes.
All right. So
Good luck with that.
while Peter is doing his little puzzle, which is not easy.
Little puzzle.
It's not easy. The thing
This
was
is
that
like the
the
Rubik's
the,
Cube
the
on
the the
drugs.
the version before it was harder than the version after. So it was too easy, so I had to pick one of them. So like I said, take your time while you solve this puzzle. I know it's not easy to keep looking at him how he solves it. We will then change a scene while he currently is doing this. How does that sound?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, cool. Is this an okay setting for you, the puzzles and whatnot? Do you like it?
Yes.
Good luck.
Okay, great. Great.
Enjoy.
Okay,
It's
let's.
gonna be Reese incantation of when he was on his flagellant,
Great.
his
Okay,
Latin incantation.
we will then go towards the next scene, which will be Asuka. Asuka,
Me?
you were given the option to go towards Sammy's house
Oh boy.
to guard him.
Yeah. A little
As
shit.
yeah. Currently, both Flora and Sammy are present in his house. You How does your character, just as I asked with Peter in the beginning, how does your character feel? What does she do? How does she act as she starts to approach the hill where the house is? And let's see what this theme of yours is as we let it go off.
This doesn't really fit babysitting,
No,
but whatever.
it doesn't really. But it is your theme song, so you.
You behave or I slaughter you after.
Suka isn't particularly thrilled to babysit
No, it
the
seems so. Let's
the
just go
little
back
the
to
little
the normal
kids.
here.
But if it must be done, then it must be done.
Mm.
Where are the kids? Can you tell
They're
me?
inside
Like
the house.
they're inside the house. All
Yeah,
right.
they were
Can I
told they
enter
should
the
not.
house just like that?
If Sammy hasn't locked it, which he should
Okay.
have done because Sabine told him to.
Yeah, I approach the door and I try to push it open.
All right. As
Uh,
you try to push it open, there is it does open, but then it is stopped as there is a little chain link at the top side, blocking you from opening the door immediately. And you hear
Chain
from the
link.
other side as you do that sound is like, who is there?
Uh, I want to go full gremlin. No. Don't you worry, child. It's just me. I was asked to look after you and your. Is it his sister?
What? No,
Or
this is Flora. Well, you don't know her. Yeah, this is Flora. So she is a companion which your group managed to well adopt, I guess,
okay.
at the behest of Pamoria before
It's
they
our
left
pet.
the
Oh, Flora
previous.
is a pet. I thought she was.
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
she's not a pet. Don't listen to them. Don't listen. She is a she is a
She a
elf
fae?
child. She's an elf child that
Okay.
that at the behest of Famoria was asked by the rest of the group to the rest of the group to take her away from that
Wait,
village that was starting
are
to.
they taller than me? I could just
They
play
are
it.
a tiny bit smaller than you, but
Okay.
yeah, just a tiny bit actually.
They should feel perfectly at ease with me. Anyway, I peer inside the little I peek inside the slit between the door,
Hmm.
and I ask for the kid to open the door. Uh, as I explained that I was tasked to, keep him safe and guard him.
Hmm. All right. The kid looks at you. Okay. Did Arabella give you something of a scroll? Because I don't remember you with the other guys.
A scroll.
Arabella gave you a
Um.
scroll having the information of your
Oh,
quest.
really? Let me
Yeah,
check.
she did.
Is
You
it
don't have it in your
under?
inventory. You just
Oh,
have to have it in your mind.
okay. I'll just hand him over the scroll. Is this the scroll you're talking about?
Yeah, it looks like it. Then he takes it in, he opens it a little bit. Okay, that looks cool. Then he opens the door completely and it's like, Flora, is this one of your friends? Then she like comes out of like the side where probably the living room is, and she peeks her head a little like out of it, and it's like
Like a dog?
a little
Oh,
bit, yeah. And she like
she
twists a
tilts her
little.
head.
She remembers seeing you once or twice, but she's you're unknown to her for at this point.
Hmm.
But she does approach
Um.
you a little bit.
All right. I greet the two little kids, and I look into the room, and I wonder how long I'll have to be here. Um, and I ask them, all right, so since we're gonna be here for a while, what do you both do for fun? What do you do to keep
Oh my
busy?
god.
Well, currently
What's
Flora's
wrong,
trying to
bitch?
teach me sign language thing. It's kind of an annoying thing, but I'm starting to get
Sign
the hang of it.
language?
Yeah, she can't speak. You don't know that?
Wait, she can't speak?
Oh my
No.
god, Suka, did you...
No,
Moment.
what?
All
He's
right,
new
just
here,
to
technically,
recap.
yeah.
I
So,
am.
to recap, you were normally this was would have been relayed to you your information. So the previous group, when I explained to you, that also had were prophesied that they need to find certain stones to open the gateway to the heart of the forest, where you might
Uh-huh.
get your thing. They first entered another little village called Formenos, and in that little village, they discovered that there was an old lady called Famoria who, at her behest, asked the rest of the people to take care of Flora, because Flora's
Yeah.
father, um, he was someone who tried to help the people escape the village,
Mm-hmm.
but during his stay inside it and the loss that the village kept getting, they went into a certain depression. And for the safety of his daughter, he made a little tunnel and underway for her to escape, and gave her the means of it to do. But because most of the people died or gave themselves up to the forest, what Famoria did was she made an illusion of the entire village, making it think that Flora was still around people, while actually it was just her and Famoria herself. Um, so when your companions finally found out that they could leave, Famoria explained everything and asked for
Mhm.
you all to take Flora with you. Flora herself cannot speak because she was born without vocal cords.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay, I
but
see.
she learned sign language. In
All
that
right.
village, your allies bought a book where that would show them a type of sign language that she knows. Now
Mm-hmm.
you can see that that same book is in Sammy's hands right now. So they are currently learning how to communicate with each other.
All right. Well, I guess I can, since I'm not really doing anything or have anything to do except look out for the two kids, I might as well, watch them as they learn, I guess.
Mhm. So So as you watch as you learn, how about you roll me an intelligence check, just a straight up
Oh,
intelligence.
great. The one
Oof.
thing I'm not great at.
Net 20.
Got it.
Oh, you managed to. Did you like it?
Hell
All
yeah.
right, all right. So, since these are children as well, wait, let me look at Peter's thing. Okay, you actually did manage to get. That's pretty cool. By the way, Asuka, you can do yours with advantage because you are around.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, come on.
Nat
You're around.
20, let's go.
Oh, you got a nat 20. Really? Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
Cheater.
Yep.
but I have a -1 in intelligence.
You stupid ass. All right, I'll find a way to describe that. Um,
I'm so smart it hurts.
okay, so once we're done with Suka's thing, we'll switch over to Peter again. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, good.
Let me just
So,
find my meme.
Asuka, uh, you feel at ease for once. So after your entire predicament, getting into the forest, being lost, finding a little bit of a safe haven, but at the same time being in an unknown environment, and then going inside the black swamp, getting in the black mire, having to fight instantly, finally getting inside a village, but still having to do stuff again and again and again,
Hmm.
and now a job has filled you a little bit with almost borderline into exhaustion. You finally feel yourself a bit at ease because you know that around children you don't need to have your guard up. You don't need to be on edge every time. Um, you don't need a mask. You don't need to. You can let yourself go, and because of that, you let everything go for a little while. Your mind is a bit more focused, and you just, as you do your job, you look intently at how the children do, and you do pick up multiple stuff very easily this time. Even though you're not one of the bookwormish type, you're more a woman of practicality. You want to do stuff, and as you
Yeah.
see them doing, you follow your hand movements together with Sammy and trying to understand what is happening. Um, so you are currently learning what Flora is learning at Sammy. While this is happening, let us switch over to Peter for a little bit, and
Mhm.
then we'll go further while you are currently learning sign
Yes.
language. That was depressive. Should not have given you advantage at all. Um, okay. So let us go back to Peter. Peter, you just as you put the last click at that strange encryption, you see all the lines light up bright yellow. They shine very brightly, and then they all start to slowly disappear. And that encircled compact, like little compact dimension starts to like flicker away in like bright white particles from top to bottom. And what falls down is a piece of parchment that falls on the ground. It's a bit ripped off, kind of like when somebody, you've seen this before in your school halls, where somebody runs very fast, and in their lines of parchment where people would write stuff down, mostly when there are findings, whether they be of scientific nature or what is the correct word again? Records being written, whether it is for findings or for investigations. Um, you can see these types of things. So already you can see at first glance that as you unroll the piece of paper, that it is one of many, but it is the first page of where is your no, where did I put it? Wishwoods, storyline and characters, group 1, Peter. All right. So you see that it is a not that one, Sabine. You see that it is a recently written record finding of the person you're trying to chase. The name of the person you're trying to chase, which you know is Jahiria. So the secretary who was running away from you, I will write down, is who was a trusted secretary of the director of your school, who ran away with a forbidden tome, and that you've been trying to chase around after he framed one of your friends. And in it, you can see that he's describing his findings from the book. I've had the most strange happenings today. I was so close. I was so close to finding her again, but I had to be interrupted by that meddlesome child. I'm in an unknown environment. The woods here are vast and dense. I in no way or form can escape. It is keeping me, stuck. I'm trying to use this tome to find a way out, but it is difficult. It is displacing me still within these forests, and I cannot seem to get out. I must find other ways. I have to test out in practice to get out or to find her. This is the only way. That's where it currently stops. There should be more, but this is but one page of many.
Interesting.
All right. So again, you still have, I suppose, your detect magic up and running. I don't think 10 minutes have passed completely yet. So you do indeed, like I said, feel that pocket dimension goes away. There is still that little residue of magic on the ground that is slowly seeping away from the portal, essentially, that Jahiria made to go in. And yeah, that's what's still there.
But nothing else. Only the residue of the
Currently,
portal.
with in the environment that you are, because you can sense presence of magic within 30 feet, you can also still feel the intense pressure. Actually, I forgot about that, but let me RP this in a different sense, because now you're less focusing on. Your mind was so specific, so hard focused on that one specific thing that you failed to feel the other magics around you. And I want you to roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh boy.
All right. You
Of the
manage to. It's almost as if you felt a force just before it would hit you. Kind of like when people are fighting and one kicks with his right leg right at your face, but you manage to block it with your arm just in time, but you still feel that force right on your arm to hit. That's what happened. Just in time, you managed to stop the incoming blast, and I'm going to roll a d6. And I rolled a 4. You're going to take 2 psychic damage. Because the force of the magics that is around you, you look up the green smoke, the one that has the plague, it's all magic, all around you. It's full-blown, continuous magic. Roll me Arcana with advantage, because you have detect
Okay.
magic on. Natural 20. In all your years of studies, young you are, in all your knowledge that you've seen, this is unprecedented because this is this is in magic within the world, within the limits that were given by the gods of magic themselves. Mortals themselves can only go up to 9th level of spells because that's how the world works. This is what the weave has for rules. This is far greater what is happening right now. This energy above you is volatile, it is alive, it is everywhere, and you see tufts of them sometimes just going downwards. You actually see one tuft of green smoke, just you can see it, but nobody else sees it, just going downwards towards one of the guards in front of you. It passes through the mask and then to the other way out again, and then goes all the way up. You see the guard coughing a little bit. The other guard's looking at him a little bit. It's like, sorry, a little bit of saliva in my throat. And you get a better understanding of what is happening. This entire plague around this entire village is purely made from magic.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Okay. While you still have your detect magic up, roll me another wisdom saving throw. Okay. I'm gonna roll another d6 again. Because as long as you have that up, you're still gonna take damage.
Yeah, I'll drop it after this.
Alright, I rolled a 2, so take 1. Because you, again, it was 14. Okay. So you let go of the detect magic, and suddenly you feel a relief in your mind as the pressure is off. This was intense. Under normal circumstances, when a person is subjected to magic of this intent, if it was one of uncontrolled nature, a force of nature or any kind, you would have been flattened. You would have been under the weight of a mountain, basically. But this was controlled. Something else is currently doing this, and you can presume, with intended purposes, with all intentions, whether good or bad, presumably bad, is happening right now. That's all you can deduce for now,
Alright.
unless you have any other questions or ideas.
I'll just tell the guards that I cleared everything up.
Just as you approach, you see the other guard just coughing a little bit again. Sorry, a bit of a sore throat today. The other one just looks at him again, the one that took your scroll last time. Yes, indeed. How about you go home and get yourself tested once you go to the healer's house tomorrow? Yes, Captain. He looks at you. Peter is like, all right, what were your findings?
There was a residual effect. There still are, but it's nothing harmful. It
Mhm.
happens after teleportation magic.
Teleportation magic. I suppose that checks out, seeing what we saw. Anything else?
There was a spatial magic also.
And that means...
I cleared it. it was only a. How is it called? I completely forgot English.
Oh, it was a spatial, like a spatial dimension, a compact.
Yeah, a compact dimension.
Yeah, a compact You know what? Fine. I know I don't understand any term you're selling me right now, but I'll take it. As long as it's safe, that's all I care about. So here you go, and he gives you a platinum coin. Not one, not to add to your inventory. It's one of these special coins that you give to Arabella, and she will give you a reward in. So it's not that you're going to get platinum gold.
nee.
So don't add that to your
I
inventory.
know.
Okay.
All right, and they open the door. They open the way for you to go, and then he says like, "All right, all of you, open the square again. Everything's safe to go. I want that cleaned up in the center." As you start to leave towards wherever you want to go.
I'll go into some alleyway where where
Oh,
nobody
boy.
can see me, sit down, and be like, "What the fuck?"
All right. So keep going. Describe your character.
Yeah, Peter is going through a crisis right now. He is frustrated because he didn't catch the secretary, Jahira. At least he learned something new, so that's helping, and also that everything is magical. That's a big problem.
Everything is indeed, just to reiterate, it is a controlled plague. Something is holding this up, this village, with purpose. All right. While this is happening, let's jump real quickly to Asuka again, as we finish Peter's little moment. Asuka, you for the few minutes, let's just say 20 minutes that were going on, you've
Have
seen that
mastered sign language. Oh.
not mastered, but you've managed to grasp a basic. For, at least from what you saw. So you can understand what Flora is trying to describe most of the time through context. So it takes a little bit longer for you to understand, but you're gonna learn slowly. Um, all right. Um, Flora then
Nice.
turns to you and is like, so as she signs to you, it takes a little while, but still. So where do you come from? She questions to you.
I mean, that's a funny story you should ask. It's only recently, like 2 days ago, that I ended up in these woods. I was actually chased into them. Um, let's just say I had a run-in with the law, and trying to outrun a couple guards, I ended up in these woods thinking it would be a great idea to hide in them. Little did I know I would find it hard the next day to get out of the woods. So I basically got lost. And after a while, I found my way in the Black Mire, and that's how I met the party that accompanies you.
You see Sammy is scowling a little bit. It's like, oh, so you're a criminal-ish face that he's doing. But Flora is like, like if she could, she can still breathe, so you can still hear the breathing sounds that she does, but she just cannot produce any different kinds of sounds. It's like, oh, and then she sounds like, whoa, that sounds awesome. So you're really sneaky and stuff.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, oh,
You'll
oh,
see more of that.
she looked like, can we play hide and seek? She signs to you.
Really? They want to play hide and seek with me?
Yeah, yeah. So we'll hide, you seek.
Wait, no, that's no. Oh. All right, but if I find you, then I'll be the one hiding,
Well,
and you'll
duh.
be the one
That's
seeking.
then Sammy stands up and Sammy's like, well, duh. That's how the game goes.
All right, fine. I'll count to 5, and then I'll come seek. Okay?
All right, all right. So you hear scuffling behind you as you start to count, like tuk, tuk, tuk. So someone
1,
probably went
2,
upstairs. Somebody probably
3,
still hiding here.
4, 5, ready or not, here I come.
All right. What do you do?
Well, I look around. How many rooms are there in this house?
All right. So let me draw a picture-ish of how draw shapes of squares. So this would be the floor where you are now, right? So the door would be over here, where you
Yeah.
entered. There is a little hallway here, and then on the right side, this would be even more. Well, wait a second. No. Sorry. This would be then the living room, in a sense. Over here, you would have a sort of like a kitchen-ish something, and over here would be the stairs that go upwards. This is just empty space here.
Yeah.
The same color.
So
This
3
would be
rooms on
empty
the ground
space.
floor.
Yeah, so this would be the door. Just this entire thing would be the door, actually. And this would be empty space. This would be the stairs. This would be the the living room.
Yeah.
And this would be like a kitchen area in a sense.
Okay.
Then you don't know what's upstairs yet, so.
Okay. So first, the hallway is kind of small, but I guess I'll look anyway.
All right, you leave the living room. You go to the hallway.
No. I started in the hallway. No.
No, you were all three in the living room.
Oh, okay. Then this roll is for the living room.
All right, so you do look around, but you don't immediately see anything specific because I have to roll my own stealth for, well, whatever it has. Okay. So you don't see an actual child here, but you do see the remnants of them running away. There is like a little rug that goes
Dust
towards the
prints.
door here.
Yeah.
Or dust prints, or yeah, sure, let's do dust
sure.
prints. Let's go that way. You see like the little lines of dust that were like put on the side over here, and one towards the kitchen. But the kitchen could also be from before. Maybe they ate something. You're not sure.
Well,
But these ones are more recent.
can I proceed? No, okay, I guess that doesn't work. Yeah, sure. And okay, I'll follow the more recent ones into the hallway.
All right.
And I'll look. I mean, the hallway, is it
It's very
big?
small.
Does it
It's small. It's very
Nah,
small.
okay, I'll just
You
immediately go up the stairs then.
oh, you go upstairs. All right. So let me show.
When I was
you.
counting, I heard some duk 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 duk. Was that
Yeah,
up
yeah.
the stairs?
You probably heard some going up the stairs. That
Yeah,
is
okay.
unmistakable. You don't need
Sure.
to. You don't need to be a genius to hear that.
Yeah.
So then, as for the top floor, let's just say that this then is where the stairs. The same way. There we go. The stairs are here now. And all right. Then you have a long hallway going to the end with 2 doors on the left side, like one over here.
Okay, so again, three rooms basically.
A long
Or-
hallway and 2 rooms actually.
Yeah.
Which you
Okay.
find. Yeah.
Anything noteworthy in the hallway? Anything that could be a potential hiding spot? I guess
Not immediately,
really.
but you do see a few pictures on the side of the wall, or like paintings.
I'm not really interested in the pictures. Can I scour the ground again, see or listen for any giggling noises?
All right, roll me another perception
Something
check.
that could give them away.
All right, so you see the most recently lines over here, but you see very old ones over here.
All right, then I'll go into the back room, the furthest one from the stairs.
Yeah. As you open the door, it looks like a simple room. There is a bed on the side, but there are some little plush toys towards the side. You see a little desk where there is again like a picture, but it looks almost like the same one that you probably saw in the hallway, but it's a bit skewed towards the side. You
Wait.
see 3 people on it.
Okay. There's
Yeah.
plush toys in this
There
room?
are plush toys on the bed itself, like a few.
How
2,
many?
3, 2 or 3.
I nab one of them.
Oh gods. Okay. You nat 20 then, so well, you now have a
Yeah,
little
okay.
bunny plush
One
toy in your
bunny
hand.
plush toy. Cool. That's for me. Thank you very much.
Stealing from children.
They don't need it as much as me. Um, after stealing the plush toy, I look into the room and see if I can see anything out of the ordinary.
All right, roll me perception. Okay, you see two pair of feet sticking out a little bit under the bed.
Fucking knew it. Either behind a curtain or under the bed. Damn kids. Okay, I don't immediately like check under the bed, but you know, I playfully ask into the room, hmm, where could they be, I wonder? And then with a little surprise shout, I say, aha, gotcha, and I drag them by the feet from under the bed.
And the like Sammy goes like whoa, and then you see like Flora, who's like, just if she could giggle, she would be like giggling insanely hard, and then she signs to you like, you found us.
Mm-hmm. Master of stealth, after all.
Okay, that's cool. Then she stands up, and she's like, okay, now I'll try to find you. She tries to sign. Um, but here's another rule: you can't use the same one rooms or places to hide as we did. Deal?
Deal. And we also stay in the house. Don't
Yeah.
want you kids going outside.
She nods a little bit in understanding, Sammy as well, who says like, "Oh, I didn't lock the door again." And then he goes downstairs to lock the door. You hear some scuffling and clicking sounds on the door side, and then he goes up again. Okay, so you turn around, Flora, and then we'll run away. So then she turns around, she goes onto the bed, and just bloop,
Wait, the both of them should be the ones looking for me.
and then Sammy is like, "Why both of us? That's not how it
Well,
works."
no, I found you both at the same time, so you both lose, so you both have to look for me.
That sounds so stupid. Roll me a persuasion.
It's frickin' kids. I'm an
Yeah,
adult, sort of.
yeah, but you don't look like one. Okay, you persuade him. So he's like, nah, fine, whatever.
Let's go.
Less work for you, I guess. Okay, then they both go to the wall, and then they start
Mm-hmm.
counting to 5. 1, 2, and so forth and so forth.
And obviously, I stealth. Wow, that's not a good roll. Can you tell me something about the empty space under the stairs? Is it like, or is there nothing there? It's like you can't
Uh,
enter.
oh, you can. So it's like when you enter, um, then you can
It's like a crawl space.
not a crawl space. No, it's just like an empty space with like the stairs and then a door that leads to the living room towards the right. It's just a closed off square space where one set of stairs is there. It's nothing peculiar. There is no other hidden entrance, at least not at first glance, if that's what you're asking.
Oh, okay. Hmm. I'll pick. Let's just say I'm stealthed somewhere in the well, without making too much noise, obviously. I'll stealth somewhere in the living room then.
All right. You. All right. The living room. There we go. All right, you are somewhere stealth within the living room. We'll see how we'll do that specifically. There aren't too many things you can hide behind, but seemingly your smaller stature helps you hide behind even the smallest of objects
Mhm.
in a good way. Um, you can actually hear and see Sammy looking around in the living room. He actually like almost looks right at you, then turns around and goes into the kitchen and to see. And then you see Flora also entering the room, and you see her close her eyes a little bit, then locks eye like directly at you, runs at you, draws away
What?
the drapes and looks and sees you immediately. And then she signs, "Haha! I found you.
Wait, who? Flora?
Flora found you.
No, she can't say, haha, I found
She
you.
signed it."
Okay, so she signed it. Okay, I grab her and I stop her from squirming and I close the drapes around us again.
Well, she can't really scream, but
Yeah,
she
exactly.
does kick her feet, so the drapes keep going up and down.
Okay, can I overpower her somehow?
Oh my god, what the hell are you doing?
What the fuck are you doing, Aska?
I'm playing a fucking game. I'm all
Roll me a strength check.
So
Let's
loser.
go.
She overpower her.
Oh,
Gonna roll my own.
She's a little kid. I'm over.
She has
I
a
sh-
in strength. Shut the fuck up. She's a small child.
yeah. We're fucking winning
Oh shit!
this
She
game.
rolled a 14.
Are you fucking kidding?
Yeah, Instead of being stronger, she's
She
gonna bite
bites
your
me?
hand.
Yeah, I fucking knew it.
She's gonna bite your hand so hard that you screech a little bit, and
Okay,
then
I scream and give away my position.
and then obviously Sammy comes out like, "Oh, hey, you found her. Very good job, Flora. How did you find her? I looked over there." And
Obviously this one is gifted.
she looks a little bit. She goes like, "Tuh." She spits a little bit on the ground because there is a little bit of blood. And then she smiles a little bit at you. She's like very smuggish and is like, like a little bit like that. And then she signs. Then suddenly she like thinks a little bit to herself like, I don't know. And then Sammy's like, how would you not know? And she signs, I just felt that she was there. I mean, she's
Is she
very.
magic? I
You
mean,
don't know.
she is an elf.
She
so-
says that. Well, I mean, Asuka is very bright. She says.
bright.
No, he's not very bright.
Maybe not bright in that way.
Yeah, while you're still rubbing on your bitten hand with the little marks on them. She looks at you. She signs like,
They
"Sorry
should
for
roll with
biting?" Question mark.
disadvantage. It's all right. I've had worse.
It's like, and then Sammy's like, I'm tired. I'm gonna go to bed. Like, you can do whatever. Just stay out of the other room next to mine. Got it? Then she goes up to
Why?
the.
What's in the other room next to yours?
None of your
I asked
business.
him. Okay, that's great. Exactly what you need to tell me to not investigate.
Do you say that, or do you say that to me?
No, I say that to God.
Ah, okay.
It's literally in my bio. Wait, what does it say?
I don't know. I haven't read your
The
bio.
best
in a
way to get me to do something is to tell me I can't do it.
Oh God. I'll just
Alright,
write
sure.
there is a sign that says please step inside
Where? In the
at
other
the,
room?
at the door that you're not supposed to go in. There. Now you won't do it.
No. That's. Do you guys know that meme about the girl that's like, "Ha, that sign can't stop me because I can't read." That's me. That's me.
Oh my God. Why is it such a good and a bad idea that I invited you in this campaign? All right. So, Sammy kind of like closes the door, but just as you see, I don't know, I suppose you followed him a little bit, or what do you do?
No. I stay downstairs. It's
Okay,
fine.
so you
I
hear the
trust him.
stepping upstairs, dum 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 dum,
Does
and he
does
goes
Flora
to then.
follow him?
Flora stands next to you. She actually looks a little bit at the bite wound she did, and she looks a little bit like a little bit like guilty for
Could be
biting.
guilty. Oh, okay. Sure. So, little girl, you want to make it up?
Oh my
She
god.
looks up.
Don't. You guys are fucking downright bad. Seriously. Let's go check on the other room that we were told not to go in.
He looks at you as like, sneaky?
Mm.
Will you teach me?
For sure. It's not
Okay.
hard. They're
I don't
they're
know.
small too, right?
Oh, they're a bit smaller than you, yeah.
Yeah. If you're small of stature, then stealth is easy.
If she could giggle, she would giggle a little bit, yeah.
All right. Just follow my lead and go on your tiptoes.
So she tries to like stand on her tippy toes, but it's kind of like trying to find her balance. She's like almost like when you start to, if you saw these videos of like trying to do ballet, she's trying to like go on a stipper toes, but it's really hard.
I watch
then-
her with my eyebrows lifted up, and then I roll my eyes and I just lead the way upstairs. But first, I'll obviously roll stealth again.
Okay, you try to be stealthy. She also
Oh boy,
so
maybe I shouldn't have invited her along.
she well, she can still see you. The thing with stealthing is that okay, maybe for it's not like in Skyrim where you're like up, you go crouching and you can still pocket somebody in front of their nose. Like that's not how it works.
I put
Stealthing
a
is
bucket on his head.
yeah, it's more of like you are trying to muffle sounds. You are trying to go
Yeah.
within corners before
Yeah.
people look
In the
around
dark,
and see you.
yeah.
Yeah, you try to use the shadows and whatnot. You try to muffle everything that you do. And behind you, Flora is also. She's going to roll her stealth. Uh, she rolled an 11. But
Nice.
she's still on her tiptoes trying to follow you. She doesn't really have shoes anyway, so she's still so she like follows you little by little. But where you have learned to see the floor and look at it and see where the potential squeaky noises would be, she doesn't really have that. So she does hear like squeaking noises as you try to do your sneaky little thing. Um, then you hear just as you go upstairs, you hear the door of Sammy going up. It's like she looks outside. It's like, what are you two doing?
No. Wait, we're not yet in the hallway. We're going up the stairs first, right? And
Yeah.
she's
And
making
that's where the
squeaky
squeaking
noises.
happens. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I look back to her and I whisper, "If Sammy finds us, you just tell him you were going to bed. All right?" I
She she
wink questioningly.
she looks at you. Is like, oh wow, that's really smart. And then
Mhm.
she likes she sign language to you, and she like
She
nods.
does an okay hand.
Hmm. Yeah.
All right.
She
So
like does a circle motion, and then you look at it. It's like, haha, made you look into it. No, just
Yeah.
kidding.
Okay. Seeing as it's from the squeaking noises she already makes and stuff on the stairs, and her lack in stealth talent, I let her go forward first,
Well,
and let her enter the hallway first.
well, of course, as that happened, like uh,
There better
see
be
you
something
see
good in that room.
probably who knows. um, then you see, like I said, the door opens and you see Sammy is like, Flora, what are you doing? Why are you on your toes? And then she's like, like does the little like just showing with her, and she signs, trying to be sneaky. You're ruining it all. It's like, why are you supposed to be sneaky? And then she thinks a little bit, and then she goes like, oh okay, trying to hide from Asuka again. And then she's like, she signs a little bit more towards, but you cannot see that because you're
Yeah.
like not there. But I'm just going to enact this
Standing
like,
behind the corner,
yeah. She's like,
listening.
oh, let me hide in your room again. It's like, what? That's stupid. And it's like, no. Nobody will ever think that we're stupid enough to do it again. It's like, whatever, fine. Just don't wake me up. And then the kid closes the door and she follows.
Okay, cool. Now that that's out of the way, I make my way over to the door where I'm not supposed to enter with a sign that I can't read. I'm saying I can't enter. And I open the door and I want to look inside and
Right.
see what's
Door
there.
is locked.
Door is locked. Oh, well,
Door is locked.
that's no problem. I check out the lock and see if I can do. Does this work?
That works 100%. Yeah, that works.
Yeah, I just want to use my what is it? Oh, I should have used this one. My lockpicks, please.
Yeah, those lockpicks. Yeah, you use a lockpick with those. The thieves' tools are the lockpicks. So you do hear How about you also roll me a little sleight of hand?
Sure.
Okay, there is a soft click, but not too loud enough to reverberate throughout the house in any form or way.
Mm-hmm. How are the hinges on the door? Are they old, squeaky?
They are on the older side. They'll probably squeak if you don't do it correctly.
All right, fine. Then I'll use one of my flasks of oil to de-squeak them.
Right, you can then deduce one oil flask.
Yeah, sure. Still got another one left in case a big crab shows up or something.
All right. All right. You then enter the room, I suppose, or what do you
Yeah.
do?
Yeah, I entered the
Okay.
room and I want to see what's inside.
So the first thing you notice, Asuka, is that this room was never used in a long, long while. It's as gray as and almost as empty as you can imagine in an unused. The only thing there is a single bed in the middle where the windows are closed on the other side. So the windows, there are drapes in front of them. These drapes are like eaten a little bit, probably by moths or any other form of insect. They were obviously blue before, but now they are also grayed out throughout the years of unuse. The bed itself also is almost there is the bed, and then there is almost a layer of dust on top of it. It's almost untouched. You see two night cabinets on each side, one with a slightly open. Uh, 1 second. Um,
Night cabinet? Oh, yeah,
Sorry,
yeah, I
you're
know
right.
what you
So
mean.
it's a small
Dresser.
night cabinet with a little, with one drawer, just a slightly bit open. The other one on the other side is completely closed. You see on both night cabinets also pictures, the same ones actually that you saw in Sammy's
Hmm.
room. Um, Otherwise, the walls themselves are completely void of anything. Um, and that's what you currently see. The room is very dark because the only light that you have is from the hallway that shines into it. Um, Otherwise, there is no light.
All right, fine. I'll use one of my. Where is that thing? Oh, there. I have a hooded lantern, and I'll use that to light the room. But
All right.
before I light the room, I close the door.
Okay, you close the door. Now it's completely dark.
Mm-hmm. And then I use my lantern to see what's in the room. Well,
All
or to
right.
see the room more better.
Yeah,
Better.
you do see the room better. It if there were more stuff on the walls, if the bed was not full of dust, it would have been more cozy and perfect for a couple.
All right. Can I check the dressers and all the all
Yeah.
the cabinets and
So
stuff?
So the only the two nightstands. Normally you would think that there would be also like a wardrobe or anything for people, but
Yeah.
the wardrobe itself is just open and nothing is in it. So it's completely open. But there is nothing in it.
Hmm.
Like it's been emptied out already.
And the dressers?
The dressers are like the night cabinets next
Yeah.
to the like I said, one has both of them have like just a single picture on top of them. One, the drawer is just slightly a bit open, the other one is completely closed.
Hmm. Anything out of the ordinary, hidden compartments or anything?
You'll have to approach one of them first. You cannot see
I
that from a
mean,
distance.
I will do that.
All right, which one? The left one is the one with the slightly open drawer. The other one is the left. God damn it! The left one is with the slightly open drawer. The
Yeah.
right one is with the just completely closed one.
Start with the open one.
All right, you go to the left side, and as you approach the night cabinet with the lantern, you see the picture on top of it as well. You see actually a woman and a man who are holding a small little baby in their arms.
Okay. Anything in the in the dresser itself?
Right. So as you open the dresser itself, you see a small golden wedding band in it.
I'll take it.
All right, you take the small golden wedding band.
Small golden wedding band. Let's go. It pays off. Okay, anything else?
Not immediately in this drawer. You do suppose that there were other things in here, but they've already been cleaned out.
Okay, I'll go over to the right drawer and check out that one. Do this the exact same thing.
All right. So, as you try to open this drawer, you feel that there is a little bit of like a force, not really stopping you, but like not making this easy to open. It's almost like it's a bit stuck in a way, kind of like if you try to force a different uh, if you try to force a piece with a different form into something else, like those little kids games where you have
Yeah,
to
yeah,
put
yeah,
star
yeah,
if you like force it into another one where it like then blocks itself a little bit, so
yeah.
it's like jammed in a sense.
Okay.
Um, you're not unknown to these kinds of things.
Yeah.
How about you roll me a history check?
Oh, history. Okay, sure.
It's not a difficult one, just to see what you
I have
do.
a
Well, you're a halfling, so if you roll natural ones, you can roll
Oh, yeah,
again.
I can reroll. Thank fucking god. Have you ever seen a
Uh,
0?
oh, I have. I even seen minus ones and twos.
Ah.
So in your line of well work, you have seen that when people in a hasty manner slam things shut, they can sometimes be jammed a little bit. So in a sense, you'll have to watch out to not make any sounds if you try to
Can I
unjam this little thing.
can I slit the blade of my daggers in between there and unjam it somehow?
This will give you an advantage if you try to open it with a sleight of hand. So you can
Yeah,
then roll
sure.
sleight of hand with advantage because you use the knife. Okay, that's a 19. So you hear a soft like not a click, but more of like a tap, almost like
Mhm.
wood on wood, as if the drawer itself clicks correctly into place, and then you can draw it open.
And what's inside?
There is a little diary in it.
Diary. Oh my god. Really? Okay. Mm. Is it like an actual book or does it have something inside?
I don't know.
All right, I'll check the diary and I'll quickly open it to see if there's like if it's actually a book with pages or if it has something valuable inside, maybe
You
possibly.
skim through all the pages without reading any form or way. There is no hidden compartment. It is a normal diary.
Okay, very very disappointed. I throw it back in the what's it called, the drawer,
Drawer. Yeah.
and disappointed, I leave the room.
All right. So
I
you
don't care
leave the
about
room.
freaking
While you leave the
diaries and
room,
shit.
we'll change scenes for a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's go to Skux because Zolp still needs a little bit more time before he finishes his few hours of work time. And then we'll go to him, Skux.
Alright.
Let's go to you. So, in knowing that Arabella gave you a less
Oh
than
no,
desired.
I'm totally relaxing right now.
Mm-hmm.
My character is just leaning towards a wooden pole or a fence or whatever is there and just relaxing.
Relaxing. Let's just see if this fits with the theme. Like a brooding, very, very
Oh,
dangerous looking goblin with knives everywhere stuck on its body, ready to do stuff, looking at the children. No, just kidding. So first of all, your quest enacts that you have to replace the guards that are guarding the children with the green bandanas. That's what your goal is. So you are to report to these guards, show them your contract, take their place. Should anything happen, you need to well, protect or maybe even play with the children to keep them busy.
can I just give them a death glare and I'll avoid playing with them?
Try and see what happens, I guess. But first, you have to report to the guards.
Yeah, I will approach the guards.
All right. So you see a line of guards, like 3 to 4. There's like, halt, state
Come
your
on,
business.
give me the line. Yeah, and I'll hand him the paper and be like, just get this over with.
He opens just like, and he looks at you and then at the paper. Is Arabella for real? We need 4 guards to keep these children safe, and then they send one measly little whatever you are.
Come on, say it.
Hmm?
He looks like you right in the eyes, like lesser being.
Damn it.
Your charisma is
I'm-
much to be desired.
I'm not giving him a death glare.
All right, you're not.
I'll be like, doesn't matter, I could have killed all you 4 without any problems.
Now you can roll an intimidation roll if you wish to.
Damn it! Jesus! There's your minus.
The guard simply starts laughing viciously, like, is that what's supposed to be an intimidation? Please. I don't know what's wrong with Arabella, but honestly, I couldn't care less. Fine, here. And then he already throws you like a small copper coin. I'll give you the other one once we come back from our next shift. This is a joke. And then they go away laughing as they go away from you.
I'll note it down on my notepad. Poison his drink.
Huh. In any case, as the guards run away, laughingly, at that point, Peter, you actually emerge outside of the alleyway where you were having a small panic attack.
Just a minor
Of
one.
your findings, but you do see Skux looking with a murderous intent at the guards who are laughing their asses off.
I'll go over and ask what are they laughing about. What's so funny?
Oh, nothing special. They are not gonna laugh for very long. I'm telling you that at least.
That's
Alright.
foreboding.
Hmm.
Where's the drinking well? And I'll look around.
Sorry, can we address what time it is? Well, considering that Gzolp started around just before noon, and you're doing all your stuff, as well as Sabine, Azuka, and Skux, we would be right now as Peter emerges from the alleyway. It would be about 3 to 4 in the afternoon.
I guess,
Ish.
he did a nap then.
Yeah, he would have been just tired, just wanted a little nap after playing all the time and learning and studying and
Okay.
studying and whatnot. All right. So, Skux, you now indeed take the position of the guards, as that's what your job is. The other children with the green bandanas who are not really like enthusiastically playing, but some of them are playing, are looking wearily at you. They don't really approach you, but they also don't go too far away from you, knowing that you are to protect them at.
I'll look at them and point at myself and say, "Look, I'm green."
Like one of them like doesn't understand it. And multiple though are giggling a little bit, like that was funny, sir. And then some of them like start to approach you as you kind of like sort of like broke the ice. They're kind of a little bit closer, and they're like, oh whoa, your mask is gray. It's not red. Why is your gray?
I come from the outside.
Oh, cool. That's been a long while since people from the outside were here, right? Yeah, says the other one. My mom says that Sammy's parents were the last ones who were outsiders.
Oh, I thought it was Arabella.
Oh, Arabella came a little bit before. Isn't that right? I don't know. My mom says at least when she goes around with her friends. As you see, there are a mixture of people. It's not just poor people, children. There are also rich ones, as all of them are of the infected children. And another one is like, yeah, my mom says that Arabella came into the forest before Sammy's parents. And she was what was his name again? And then he's just like, who? The other mayor. Oh, Mayor Jackson. Yeah, that one. She was his assistant for a little while, and then after well, he's not here anymore. Now it's Dr. Xenos who is the mayor. And then a little while, well, around that time is when Mayor Jackson died and Dr. Xenos took over. That's when Sammy came with his parents, was it? I think it was a little bit earlier. Yeah, it was a little bit earlier. We're not sure anymore. There are a lot of stories around them, honestly. But we've seen you go around with him a lot. Is that like dangerous? I mean, like we're supposedly sick, but like everybody says that you can get it from him.
Your parents saying that you can that?
Yeah. But like we're all saying like, well, we already have it, so why can't we play with him? But well, we're not allowed to.
You know what happened to his parents?
Uh I I'm not really sure. Wait, I have a friend who might know. And then he goes like a bit further and he calls out to someone. You don't immediately hear the name, but then the other one comes here. He's like a little bit of a bigger child, probably around 12 to 13. But you can already see some blackish marks form around its neck. It's like, yeah, can I help you?
No, I was wondering if you could tell me something about Sammy's parents.
Oh, well,
The other kids say you know more.
I was about 4 or 5 when they came here. And Sammy was just a little child then, like a baby. And sorry, I'm starting to get older, and it always starts happening when we get older. She, well, at least that's what I remember being told, or what everybody says, but we're not really sure. When Charlie and his parents came to the village, everything was fine. There was nothing wrong. There was no plague. There was nothing else.
Who's
And
Charlie?
sorry, I was looking at Charles' character sheet and I was confused. When Sammy's
Oh.
parents came in, that was a mistake. It wasn't 2 years ago.
Oh,
My
no.
apologies. It was a mistake. Just so you know, you can change that. It was not 2 years ago. Sammy entered the village when they. Oh god damn it! Which fucking iteration is it? This is what happens when you rethink all your stories from the get-go. Okay.
Oh wait, sorry. It was the diary that was 2 or 3 years old, but
No, but I also had different iterations. Let me go over my stories here. Okay, so you all should know that Sammy currently is about 8 to 9 to 10 years old. You haven't actually really asked the question yet at him, but you can deduce that he's around that age. The child now says that Charlie entered with his. Oh god damn it! That Sammy entered with his parents when he was about, let's just say, 4 years old, about ish. So that would mean that about 4 to 5 years have passed since they've entered the village. Yeah, that's the iteration that I'm going with. Yeah. So if need be, you need to update any forms of differently mentioned stuff in your notes, but that's so within let's see, well, you were talking to a child, so well, it was a while ago, so but like everything was fine then, and then suddenly, like a little bit later, you know, his dad disappeared for whatever reason, and like a few days later, then suddenly like a plague, this plague thing happened everywhere. So, I mean, for a lot of people, they thought that it was Sammy's dad, and then suddenly his mom got sick as well, and then well, he just didn't get sick at all. He's like the only one who just can do whatever he wants and he doesn't get sick. So yeah, that's why everybody thinks that he's the one that did all this. But we can't really do anything because Dr. Xenos doesn't allow us to do anything to him. At least that's what they all say. I don't know. It's really weird. We try not to really, sorry, think about it. I mean, we try to be nice when we can, but it's hard when our parents tell us not to.
That's understandable.
Wait, the parents are setting them up against the kids?
Yeah, it's very obvious that nobody likes Sammy.
Oof.
What do you think about Dr. Xenos there, or Mayor Xenos? What's
He's
he?
he's okay, but he,
You like him?
I mean, I've met Mayor Jackson before. He was a cool guy as well, but Dr. Xenos is a bit more. Well, he's a doctor, right? They don't really ask you too many personal things. They just do their job. My mom says that she prefers Dr. Xenos over Mayor Jackson because he's so direct and precise. But I guess I suppose I like him a bit better. But yeah, he's the one who did this entire system with the masks and whatnot, and the bandanas. It works, I guess, for a lot of people.
Right.
By the way, Peter,
You-
you're also there. You're within this conversation, so you can also add where needed.
Do you happen to
Right.
know what Sammy's father was doing right before he disappeared?
I don't know. I really don't know. You should ask Sammy.
I will try and remember that.
Okay.
Someone fucking help me remember that.
So then the child just shrugs his shoulders and he goes back to the coughing his lungs out a little bit and goes back to whatever he could do, aside playing. All right. So. Okay. Just as the child turns around and goes away, Peter Skux, from the side of the 1 second. Okay. From the side, you see 3 burly figures approaching the supposed oh come on, what was the supposed playground, and they, at first glance from the distance you are right now, don't really seem of the nice types, and they are mostly going towards the children's playground where the green bandana children's are. You see 3 of them just approach that side. What do you do?
I will just half loudly ask them, "Can I help you guys?"
So they see you talking from the other side of the from where your character is, it's a bit far away from what they're trying to do. So maybe you should go a bit closer if you really want to.
Okay, well,
Over here.
I'll
Over
approach
here where
them.
Peter is fine.
I'll approach
Or-
them and ask if I can help them.
They look at you. Oh, what we have here? An annoying little green dog. Are you the one here trying to protect these little insects?
How about
Here.
you skedaddle home, pointy ass?
You look at that. The little dog barks. I don't suppose he bites. Because you know what I do with dogs that bite?
Damn it!
You're
God
really bad
damn
at this.
it.
Just give up.
No! I want a success!
All right, I'll give you another one for as pity.
No!
That's it.
You have a -2.
Okay, I'm just going to, for science reasons, print screen all of these rolls from him.
Science reasons.
Science indeed.
Of course.
Maybe if you combine them, they will be like high enough.
Probably not with that -1.
Just posting them here for future references. Oops, not here. That's the wrong one. Here. There we go. Okay, so, the one in the front, which is the middle one, let's just say the middle one, starts to laugh and at your attempt to like silently intimidate. For him, your stature, your smallness, for him, his obviously racist remarks are just, he's just having a blast, and he's like, here, what, little dog, let me let you in on a secret. These things are an actual disease and need
Can
to
I just
be
throw a poison
exterminated.
dagger on him?
If you want to immediately initiate combat,
Initiate
then
combat, let's go. That's what I would do, Ree.
I'm just a support.
No, I'll
The
listen.
best
I'll listen to
intimidation
him
is
prattle.
combat.
all right,
I'll listen
he's
to him
like,
prattle.
listen here, little dog. These things need to die as long as they're alive. And then he looks at the cowering children who are starting to go like backwards towards the corner. That one child who you talked to before, who was a bit older, with the little marks below its neck, is like sort of like pulling them all behind him, keeping his arm as wide as possible, trying to keep them all in one place, away from these burly people. You actually also see like people all around looking at the commotion, but nobody's doing anything. You and maybe Peter are the only ones that are actually like right there at the moment. And yeah, they say that these needs to die. Huh? That's what they say. So you either join or bugger off. And then he like points the dagger at his sword at the children.
Ree, say, oh, I'll join in the killing, and then kill him.
I'll throw a dagger in his knee.